Morning, campers. So Conor McGregor, Tucker Carlson did an interview in a Masonic hall in Dublin, and that's what's freaking some of the truthers out. And it does bring up some interesting questions, because firstly, using Conor McGregor like this to speak out for what's going on in Ireland is a stroke of utter genius, because he's the most famous Irishman alive. He's a fighter. He has achieved enormous things. He speaks for real people in Ireland, and he's the complete antithesis of the ruling elite of weirdos that occupy the Dáil and the office of the presidency. How did that leprechaun? I have no idea. But anyway, interesting about the Masonic Hall, because conspiracy theorists like myself have been going on about Freemasons for years. Of course, they must be the bad guys because they're a secret society, 33rd degree, etc., etc., etc. If you go back 1776, Adam Weishaupt, can't remember how you pronounce his name, and the creation of the sort of Illuminati, New World Order, which is all connected to the Freemasons, then yeah, you would say bad guys. But actually the Freemasons go way back to they know the secrets of the universe at the highest levels. Are they Luciferian at the highest levels? Were they infiltrated? Were the Knights Templars good guys or bad guys? These are questions that not everybody agrees on, and that's why you've got to keep an open mind in this situation, because in my view, for what it's worth, we are in a massive military operation. We have been for a decade, pretty much, maybe more. And in that scenario, it's impossible to know what the truth is. And if you look at things just by what you see in front of you with confirmation bias, then you're gonna come to the conclusion that, oh, Tucker and Conor are Freemasons and they must be bad, and this must be part of a psyop to destroy the nationalist narrative in Ireland. But that's not actually what's happening, is it? What's actually happening is that by Conor talking on a massive scale with Tucker about the true things that are going on in Ireland, a lot of us have been shouting about what's been going on all over the world, including Ireland, for years, but we're tiny. Conor is huge, Tucker is huger. Then you have to wonder what the result of that is. And one of the results of that is that all the millions of people, especially in America, that identify as Irish or descendants of Irish immigrants, a lot of these people are loaded with cash, and a lot of that cash has been funneling into Sinn Féin for forever. But the Sinn Féin that exists now is not the same Sinn Féin that existed even 20 years ago. All the political parties in Ireland are totally infiltrated by communist, Marxist, WEF, Illuminati type people. So what's the point of so a lot of that money may be going then towards Conor's stated aim of becoming president, which I would welcome in Ireland. Ireland needs a shake-up, and I think he's absolutely right that we're beyond, politics has to end. So the age of the politician is over, and if people keep going around left and right, and we need this new party and that new party. No, we don't. We need to get rid of politics completely, because politics is all about opposition. And when you're in opposition, you are doing exactly what they want you to do, which is constantly be distracted by arguments that get nowhere. And then this idea of democracy is a load of nonsense. I mean, the blockchain could solve all of this pretty much instantly if people make decisions based on policy, based on common sense, and we can get rid of all these public servants, especially the lifetime public servants, who are the real problem within government, because they're the ones who implement all the bullshit that comes out of the mouths of these puppets. So back to the Freemasonic Hall. Well, not everybody within the Truth movement believes that the Masons are bad, and I think it's a more complicated question than bad or good. And I do think, obviously, there's levels of Freemasonry, and there's people at the low levels who are really good people, who are just doing charitable things and trying to build their business and all that kind of stuff. But we've seen all of these things over the many years of the weird handshakes and the rituals and the Luciferian, the kind of agendas behind it. But you know, if you look at someone like Charlie Freak, for example, he believes the Freemasons are all good and that they're the ones actually behind winning this war against evil. I'm not saying I believe that he's right. He's right about a lot of things. I don't agree with him on veganism, but I've got a lot of respect for his knowledge. And, you know, so you have to keep an open mind in this. I mean, you think about the potentials for the Freemasonic Hall use in this video. What if it was a signal to somebody or a group of people, we've captured this, we've got it? What if they are bad guys and they're saying, you know, they're showing us that, you know, they're working for the bad guys? What if, you know, there's a lot of what ifs. So my advice would be not necessarily to be shouting and screaming, oh, this is all fake, it's all this, it's all that. I mean, it is all fake in a way, but the best thing to do, I heard this great piece of advice yesterday, and it was indirectly from Saint-Germain, or whatever his name is, the Ascended Master, however you pronounce it. I know who he is, I just don't know how to pronounce it. Saint-Germain. And he said, stand behind a small wall while all this unfolds. So you're protected to a degree, but you're observing it. Don't get involved in it too much. Just watch it play out and see what happens. Whatever the case, from my perspective, after years and years and years of going on about this stuff, seeing what Conor McGregor's doing with Tucker Carlson is fantastic, because nobody was paying attention, and especially the Irish people, they've been sleepwalking. And one of the reasons for that is the levels of black magic in Ireland, and you have to ask yourself, why are there so many levels? If you read a book called Island Land of the Pharaohs, you can go to Google, you can find a free PDF, download it, read it. I think that book tells us more about what's really going on in Ireland than any other book. And the author talks about 16 layers of black magic in Ireland compared to 2 in many other countries. And then you have to ask yourself, why? That's the big question.